Hi, I'm Andrew Cass, and I'm here with Cash Control member Louis Meltz. Louis, good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just wanted to ask you, what do you think the biggest breakthrough you've had? And I know you've had a lot, because we spoke yesterday. What was the biggest breakthrough that jumps out at you that you had as a Cash Control member?
You know, in the 6-week program that I took, what I think the biggest takeaway were some of the books that you recommended. And the beginning was to create a ritual. Not only the 2-hour income-producing activity early in the morning, I no longer look at email at all until noon because it's such a distraction.
Yeah.
Creating a 2-hour window to work and then creating that ritual to do it with that was then again emphasized in the books to read that were just add-alongs to that 6-week online program. And then all the trainers that added in all the various bonuses that equally were as valuable as the class.
Yeah, we did stack the bonuses.
It was incredible to go through, to be able to learn even the nuances going through. It was a mind-blowing opportunity to understand where I've been hung up in the learning mode, and now eventually you're getting into the action mode.
So are you in the action mode right now? What does the action mode look like for you now?
Absolutely. Well, the module that Ann put on webinars, that was a Monday night. The next day, Tuesday, I did my very first webinar on GoToMeeting at noon.
Okay.
I did my next one at 6 p.m. the same day, and I did a third webinar at noon the next day. I'd never even touched the control panel of GoToMeeting.
Now you did 3 in 24 hours.
And the very first one, I'm 10 minutes into my very first presentation, and Federal Express is rustling at my door that unfortunately I locked.
They were delivering a check to you, right?
I hope it was a check. It was a big package. And then 10 minutes later, another delivery came.
Okay.
And then 10 minutes later, the mailman shoving magazines through my mail slot. And the last 5 minutes, the phone starts ringing. So with all those distractions, I was still able to just focus and finish that webinar. And I would have never been able to do that.
So how did the webinar look for you? Were you in a position to get people on and make some sales? And how did it go?
We had 6 people on that were attended the very first time. We had some commitments that came from it.
Good.
Despite the distractions. So I learned that I was getting in my own way, preventing my own success. And with a 6-week cash control program, I learned the pathway of how to implement easily, simply, instead of trying to build a house with every gadget and every power tool. All you need is a saw, a hammer, and a screwdriver to get the ball rolling.
Right.
And that's what I learned in cash control.
Awesome. That's why we call it the ultimate 6-step formula, right?
Absolutely.
Now, while I have you, you're here in Miami with us at the first ever two-day Cash Control Academy. So what I want to hear from you is, you took it, you got a lot online, you took it offline, spent 2 days with us. How did you feel about the 2 days? You
know, these 2 days, having all the speakers going through their strategies, and it was the nuts and bolts of, well, example, what Tim Sales, what to say, how to say it, why to say it.
He gave specifics.
And the mechanics. I understand now why I contact a prospect, the purpose for contacting a prospect, and the key steps on why you're speaking to them, and the information you're trying to distill. Unbelievable. It's a matter of just falling over your feet the entire time. Now there's a logical formula on what to do and how to duplicate that same process over and over and over.
Awesome. One of the things we tried to accomplish with Cash Control was I wanted to bring back, I sort of had this saying, as you remember, where even though this is the direct selling industry, we've gotten so far away from true direct sales training. So,
correct.
I mean, you're a smart guy. You're a chiropractor.
Right.
Been in business.
I've been
how many decades? I don't even know.
No, 29 years.
Right. So, you know, one could argue that you're probably already successful in your own business and you're running a successful practice, but you're in the direct sales industry for a reason. Right. You're either looking to get out of that or you're looking to add to that.
I'm looking at helping infinitely more people that could ever possibly walk through my door.
Okay.
It's a matter of serving mankind and humanity in greater levels than ever possible, one-on-one. Trying to neutralize pain, despair, misery. But as I see that every day in patients' voices and in their eyes, just knowing what they want and what they need. And it may not be what I provide physically for them, but it could be a solution in their manifestation of physical problems because they're hurt, because of their financial situation.
Right.
And this is a tool to solve that.
Yeah, and you know, the reason I asked you about your professional practice is because the other thing I wanted to achieve with Cash Control is I wanted the strategies to work for this industry, obviously, but I wanted you to be able to move them to other areas of your life, like your chiropractic business. I wanted you to be able to sell a certain way in that environment too. Do you feel like you've been able to transfer some of the results from what we teach you in the industry to your practice?
You know, Andrew, I'm glad you asked that question, because it took me 4 years of undergraduate, 4 years of graduate, 3 years of specialty training to understand what I was doing. So I figured, well, 2 years of buying this tool and that tool is like buying textbooks. I thought 2 years, that's just a little bit of investment compared to the perspective, and it's relative, how much time I put in. But I'm learning people in 6 months' time are pulling down significant incomes, and it doesn't take that long. And that's one of the things, cash control, I learned it doesn't take 2 years of buying every tool and dissecting and digesting and learning. You can learn it 1 or 2 strategies to be able to put yourself on the map and be in profit, and then help others very quickly. And that was a big takeaway. It doesn't take 2 years, no matter where you've come from, what your experience is, what your background is, what your heartache or what your desperation or disappointment has been. You can do it in 6 months. If you want it bad enough, you can make it true.
Well, we wanted to create speed, right? One of the things I said when I opened the event was, at the end of the day, you can do the slow and steady thing, fine, but at the end of the day, why does it have to take long if it doesn't have to take long? So we gave you the speed that you wanted in your direct sales business.
And you elucidated that it's the path of greatest resistance, which is no longer necessary for anyone.
Yeah, the path of least resistance is obviously the way to go, but we're just kind of groomed as kids to go the path of most resistance. So sometimes it's just a paradigm shift, right?
It's just a twist to be at the right place, the right time with the right people, all supportive of that same concept and supportive of that same goal in sight.
Awesome. Well, Louis, congrats on your success, both in the industry and out. Appreciate your kind words.
Thank you
very much.
Absolutely.
All right, you got it.